Coulson, I see that your belongings are all packed. What's happening? Are you moving out of our house?
You bet I do. I can't stand living with you and our useless parents anymore. Mom and Dad have been bedridden for almost a year now, which makes them a complete burden. I mean, it's not like those paralyzed old people can just walk around and start working again overnight to provide for me. So I don't see any reason why I have to put up with them any longer.
How could you say it like that? It was partly your fault. Your incessant texting and calling while our parents were driving home distracted them and caused them to collide with a truck. You should be held accountable for the injuries our parents sustained.
Why blaming it all on me now? Dad was the one behind the wheel, so he should take responsibility for what happened, not me. Besides, they were late at transferring me my monthly allowance, so I had no choice but to call and remind them about it. I have bills to pay, and I also have to eat and drink to survive. Do you expect me to live on thin air?
Then why didn't you get yourself a job to take care of your wants and needs instead of relying on our parents financially?
What? Have you looked at yourself in the mirror? You're the one who's still leeching off of our parents' money and living in their house. I never see you set foot outside the house, so don't you dare lecture me about getting a job. What a big hypocrite you are. I'll be home in a moment to gather my things. I'll need you to wait at the door for me.
What? So you're just gonna move out like that? After years of living off our parents' paychecks, now you're gonna abandon them because they're no longer useful to you? Wow, you really are something else, aren't you?
You got that correct. Besides, I don't have to rely on nickels and dimes our parents provide me with anymore. I just landed a great job with a high salary, so I'm not worried about anything now. Good luck dealing with those deadweights. I'm out of here and never to return.
So you're just gonna abandon our parents and leave me to deal with everything on my own? You're running away from your responsibilities, expecting me to pick up the pieces for you? You know what? You're such a heartless, selfish person, and I don't know how you can even live with yourself.
So what? You're the younger sister, right? So of course you have to take care of our parents. A 3-year-old kid also knows this as common knowledge. I'm an older brother and I'm destined to do great things, not run around the house and slave away for some bedbound parents. That's just plain ridiculous. Besides, you've been taking care of them so well for the last 1 year. So you can just continue doing that. No need for me to interfere with anything.
That's not right. We're both their children, and we should both be contributing equally. Just because I'm the younger sister doesn't mean I have to do everything.
Look, the only thing that keeps me from moving out of the house for all these years is that I don't have enough to pay for a rented house myself. But now, it's a totally different story. I just got a great job and my girlfriend also agrees to share the rental costs with me. So I'll be doing just fine. Thank goodness I'm finally free of you all. I've been waiting for this day for ages, and now it's finally here. I'm moving to a new city and I'm changing my phone number, so don't even think about trying to contact me. It would be a complete waste of your time.
You can't do this to our parents. They need you now more than ever. They need to see your face and know that they're not alone. They need your support and love. Look, I'm not asking you to provide financial aid or take care of our parents. I just want you to at least pay them a visit whenever you can. It would mean the world to them.
Don't even try to guilt trip me into staying. I know you just want me to stay so you can leech off my money and pay for their medical expenses. But ain't no way I'm falling for it. I'm leaving, and I'm going far away from you and our parents. They're not my responsibility. It was their carelessness that put them in this situation, and now they have to live with the consequences. If they can't even fulfill their duties as parents, what do I even need them for? I don't need our parents, and I'll be 10 times better off without them.
I know that children are not legally obligated to take care of their parents, but don't you think it's wrong to abandon your parents when they need you the most? Specifically, you have been using our parents' money to pay for your bills for a long time. This means that you've been benefiting from their financial support. Now, when they are in need, you're choosing to leave them? I can't believe you would be this cruel to your own parents.
What's wrong with me using my own parents' money? They're my parents. They brought me into this world, so it's only natural that they take care of me. Now that I'm already over 30 years old, I don't owe these people anything. I have all the rights in the world to live for myself and not anyone else. You're also free to move out of the house if you want. No one is forcing you to stay. If you can't take care of our parents, just put them in a nursing home. Hire someone to do it for you, or kick them out of the house so that they can rot on the streets for all I care.
What? How could you say it like that?
Look, I don't care what you do with our parents, because they're none of my concern anymore. It doesn't matter to me if our parents are dead or alive. In fact, I don't even want to get near those people. They're worthless and I feel disgusted whenever I look at them. I don't want to have any association with them anymore. I'm washing my hands off them, and they're no longer my family.
Fine, so you're really determined to cut ties with us, huh? I've tried to talk some sense into you, but it's clear that you're not going to listen. You keep accusing our parents of being a burden to you, but it's actually the other way around. You haven't been working, and you don't even help out around the house. The only thing you've been doing is taking advantage of our parents and using their money for your own good. So go ahead and do your thing. I won't stop you anymore.
What's up, Deborah? Still having a good time with the nuisance you call parents? Oh, how I envy you, living with those delightful parents of yours. I bet it's such a joy to be their personal servant, cleaning up after them and catering to their every need. You must be having a ball.
Who are you, and what gives you the right to judge me and my parents?
What do you mean you don't know me? I'm your big brother, Coulson. Seriously, how could you forget about your own brother like that?
Coulson! I thought you ran away from home and never came back. And besides, you're not my brother anymore. I deleted your number and wiped all my memories about you. So don't even think about trying to talk to me.
Oh my, looks like someone is getting a little bit hot under the collar. Well, I don't blame you. You must have gone mad after spending all those years taking care of a bunch of helpless invalids. I guess it must be great fun changing diapers and wiping off drool for our pathetic parents 24/7. I mean, really, what kind of person would dedicate their life to helping people who can't even help themselves? You're just a crazy woman who acts like a saint. But you're not fooling anyone.
Coulson, I'm warning you. If you show up here again just to talk down to me and our parents, I'm going to make you regret it. I don't need you and your uneducated manner. So stay away from me, or you'll be sorry.
Oh please, do go on. I'm so intimidated by your meaningless threat. What are you going to do, really? I just want to check how miserable you and your parents are right now. Are you all living on the streets, begging for money from a passerby? I bet you are. You must be so broke that you have to eat off the trash.
I thought 5 years would have been enough to change a person. But I guess I was completely wrong. You're just as terrible as the day you left us. You're still arrogant, selfish, and self-centered like the man I used to know.
Don't act so bitter. It only shows how pathetic and hopeless you are right now. Why don't you take a look at your talented and successful brother? I'm living the dream, with everything a person could ever want. I have a happy family with 2 beautiful children, a stunning wife, and a high-paying job. And don't think for a moment that I'm just bluffing. You can ask my wife, Amelia, for all the details.
So, you already got yourself a wife, huh? I wonder who's the unlucky girl.
Of course, I have a wife. I'm the catch of the century. I could have any woman I want, but I chose to settle for the best. She's beautiful, intelligent, and funny. She's everything I could ever want in a partner.
Well, congratulations. I hope you have a happy life regardless of what you did to our parents.
Oh please, don't try to hide your rage. I know you're boiling with anger right now that you weren't invited to our wedding. But let's be real, why should you have been invited? Remember, you and I belong to totally different social classes now. If you had to come to my wedding, you would have embarrassed me and my wife with your poor manners and lack of sophistication. I decided to organize my dream wedding without you, and it turned out perfectly.
Well, I'm glad you didn't invite me to your wedding. I wouldn't have come anyway. After all, you're the one who deserted our parents when they needed you the most. You treated me and our parents like dirt, so I'd be an idiot to ever have anything to do with you.
Oh please, spare me your sanctimonious act. We all know you're just a weakling who's too afraid to make tough decisions. If you were tough enough, you would have abandoned our parents years ago, and your future would be much brighter now. But instead, you're stuck here, taking care of them like a chump. You're just a coward who's too afraid to live her own life. Oh, I'm so impressed. You've really turned out to be just like our parents. A pathetic excuse for a human being.
Look, I can understand that you wanted to avoid taking care of our parents and you abandoned them. But how could you not show up when I told you that Mom and Dad only had a few days left to live? They were expecting you, waiting to see you one last time before going to the other side, but all they got was disappointment. You didn't even attend both of our parents' funerals. What kind of person are you?
What? Those old people are dead now? I didn't know. When did you tell me that?
I called and texted you countless times, but you didn't answer once.
You did? Yeah, right. I just remembered that I blocked your number, so it's understandable that you couldn't call me. Hilarious. Besides, I wouldn't come to their funerals anyway. Why would I waste my time on those useless people who are already dead? That doesn't make any sense at all. But it's still a shame. I didn't get to see how miserable they were on their last days of living. I would have loved to rub it in their faces.
You have lost all of your humanity and your sense of morality, Coulson. You show no respect for your parents and even yourself. Are you afraid that one day your children will treat you the way you have treated our parents? Have you considered the possibility that your children might abandon you in the future if something bad were to happen to you?
Of course, I will make sure that my little darlings will take care of me when I'm old. After all, what's the point of having children if they're not going to take care of me in my dotage? I'm certainly not going to be foolish as our parents were. Giving their children money and then being abandoned by them, I'll start teaching my children about the importance of taking care of their old parents from a young age.
How ironic. You didn't even take care of your own parents, so why do you expect your kids to do the same thing for you?
I have my own way of parenting and discipline, so you don't have to worry about me. Just mind your own business. After all, you don't even have any kids of your own, so where do you get the right to criticize me? What a big hypocrite.
Fine, I'll gladly stay out of your business. But let's be clear, I haven't seen you as my brother since the day you left us and skipped our parents' funerals. You're an ungrateful child who's willing to ditch their parents or anyone close to them just for their own convenience. I have no respect for people like you. I see that you've managed to get yourself a decent life, so just keep it and don't come back to bother me ever again.
Great. I couldn't be happier. You actually think I'm proud of having you as my sister? More like the other way around. Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror? You're just a pathetic excuse for a human being. A dirt-poor, middle-aged woman who's never amounted to anything. You're a burden to everyone around you just like Mom and Dad. I made the right choice when I left you behind, and I'll never regret it.
Coulson, I'm confused. Why are your belongings at my doorstep? Are you planning to move in?
What's so surprising, sister? Of course the big brother takes the house when the parents are dead. It's only natural. That's how the world works. By the way, I also expect you to move out of this house immediately. This house is too small for my family and you. You're lucky that I've been letting you live here for free all these years. If I weren't your brother, I would have charged you rent for living in my house without permission.
So, you just conveniently come back and claim your ownership of the house now that our parents are no longer here? You abandoned me and our parents, and now you think you can just waltz back in and take what's ours?
So what? The eldest son should always be the one who inherits the money or any kind of property from his parents. That's just how things go. Anyways, I don't want to waste my breath with you. From tomorrow, I'm gonna move in and start living in that house. So you'd better move out and make room for us. Do you hear me?
Are you kidding me? You abandoned us all, and then you expect to just suddenly come back and claim the house after 5 years? It's not your house, and you have no right to move in here. I wouldn't even let you live here if you talked to me in a decent manner, let alone the way you're behaving now.
And what if I do? What are you going to do about it, old hag? Call the police? Tell them that I'm moving into the house that I grew up in? How ridiculous. I don't need your permission to do anything. That house is my birthright, and I've owned it since the moment I was born.
From the way I see it, you're the one who is being unreasonable. You call yourself an adult, but you don't even have a clue how the laws work, do you?
I think you're just too dense to understand what I'm telling you. Look, you're just a guest living in my house. No more, no less. Now that I, the rightful owner of the house, have returned, you have no choice but to move out and make room for my family. Simple as that. Listen carefully. My wife and I will be moving into the house with our children tomorrow. I expect the house to be spotless by then. I know you're probably used to living in a squalor, but we have standards. And of course, we will not tolerate a single speck of dust on the floor.
Fine, if you want to move into the house, then go ahead. I don't care. I'll move out today, and I'll never come back. I can't stand living under the same roof as someone as entitled and arrogant as you anyway.
Oh, that's a very good choice. You're finally starting to know your place, aren't you? I'm so proud of you. You're just as weak and spineless as you were the last time I saw you. You never fight back, but that's what I like about you. If you keep behaving like a good little lapdog, I might let you live in my house and be my housekeeper. But don't get your hopes up, because I'm not holding my breath. Deborah, why is there a real estate agent here claiming that my house is on sale? What is this all about? I seriously don't understand.
What's not to understand? The house is mine. I own it. I have the deed, the title, everything. I can do whatever I want with it. If I want to sell it, I can sell it. If I want to tear it down and build a new one, I can do that too.
What? Why is the house yours? It's mine. I inherited it from my parents, so it should be mine. You have no right to do anything with it. What you're doing is illegal, and I'm calling the police.
Don't make me laugh, Coulson. You ran away when our parents were seriously sick, leaving me to take care of them. Now that they're no longer here, you think you can just waltz in and claim the house as your own? Not so fast. I think you've been waiting for this moment for a long time, haven't you? Eagerly awaiting the death of our parents so that you could swoop in and take everything? Well, too bad for you. You're not getting the house or anything else from our parents.
What are you even talking about? I just came back to take what's rightfully mine. What's so wrong about that? Do you actually think that I'm going to let you steal the house from me? Not a chance. I'm the older brother, and older brothers always get what they want, no matter what. If you continue to cross me, I'm going to make you pay a heavy price.
It's funny how you constantly claim to be the older brother when you abandoned your family years ago. Besides, why would I have to steal the house when it's already mine?
What do you mean the house is yours? Have you lost your mind? It's mine. Tell these stupid people to go away from my land, or else I'll call the cops on them. You have no right to sell the house, and you will be punished for your stupid actions.
Allow me to set the record straight. I have been helping our parents pay the loans for our house since we bought it. I wasn't lazing around the house doing nothing. I was working from home and earning a fair sum of money every month. That's how I was able to contribute a fair share to the purchase of the house.
You were working and paying for the house loans? That's impossible. There's no way such a thing could happen.
And you, if you're so rich as you always claim, why are you so desperate to move into this small house? You claimed that you have a high salary, right? So why don't you just buy your own house, or at least rent one? You're always so proud of your job, so surely you can afford it. But no, you'd rather try to take over this house that's not even yours. To be honest, you're just like a child who's not getting their way. Tell me the truth, Coulson. Are you actually that well off like you say you are?
What? What are you talking about? It's none of your business. I'm not obliged to answer your question. You're not even a police officer, so your questions have no validation. So back off and stop bothering me.
Just admit it, Coulson. You're just recently fired from your job, correct? You don't have to lie about it, just tell me the truth. Although, I already know everything.
What do you mean you know everything? What is going on here? Are you hiding something from me? And why do you know that I was just recently fired? This doesn't make any sense at all, seriously.
Well, my husband is the president of the company you're working for, you know. So he has all the rights in the world to give you the sack.
What? Your husband is the president of my company? How could this even be possible? And since when did you get yourself a husband? I don't believe you. You're just talking nonsense.
You heard it correctly. Looks like someone got excluded from his own sister's wedding. And yet, you still think you're the only one who's ever gotten married and has a life. How cute.
Why did your husband fire me? I haven't done anything wrong.
It's nothing personal, don't get me wrong. My husband told me that you were continuously slacking off on your duties at work. As a result, your termination was inevitable. Besides, you could always apply for a warehouse worker position at another company. I believe this job is still in high demand.
No, your husband is a jerk. He knows very well that I have a family to take care of, so why did he fire me? Do you have any idea how hard I had to work to get them to hire me? I was turned down by so many other places, and your husband's company is the only one that gave me a chance. He's such a cold-blooded person. People like him will never have a good ending in life.
Well, my husband would have done it differently and gave you another chance to prove yourself. But judging on your passive attitude towards work and your ill-mannered behaviors to your parents, he sees no reason to keep you around anymore. See, Coulson, I told you, actions have consequences. And an ungrateful person like you is now reaping what you've sown.
This can't be true. I thought you were dirt poor. How can your husband be the CEO of a major company? You must be kidding me. You're just lying, and I have no reason to believe your lies.
Well, that's what you get for always looking down on other people. I guess in your head, you just assume that people like me will never have anything good going on in our lives. How wrong you were. I'm the one who's living the good life, while you're the one who's suffering from a miserable existence. I even heard that your wife is having an affair with another man. How's that for karma?
What? My wife is cheating on me? What are you talking about? Stop with your baseless accusations. You're not fooling anyone. I'll sue you for slandering. You know that.
If only I said wasn't true. But too bad, it's the truth. You've been cheated on by your wife for at least 1 year now. My husband saw your wife go out and behave intimately with not one, but 2 different men. I don't want to say this, but you might want to ask your wife if the children are yours or not. I'm just saying, but it's worth a try, right?
You witch! You call yourself my sister, but you did this to your own brother?
Did you forget? I stopped considering you my brother a long time ago, after you abandoned me and our parents. By the way, you might want to move your belongings out of my house as soon as possible. It's not yours. Our parents gave it to me as inheritance, and I'm selling it. They decided that you get nothing, because you weren't even there for them on their final days. Why should they give you anything after you treated them so poorly?
No! Give my house and my job back. This is all your fault. My life is falling apart and it's all because of you. Look, I'm your big brother, so you have to tell your husband to give me my job back. I treated you and our parents badly, but I'll do everything to fix it. Please, I beg of you. Let me get my job back, and let me live in the house. I don't even have enough to pay for my rent anymore.
No, you can't apologize now. It's too late. You had many chances to redeem yourself, but you blew them all. You chose to live a life that was convenient for you, even if it meant deserting your own family. Now you have to pay the price for your actions, and it's a heavy price. Coulson confronted his wife about her extramarital affair, igniting a heated argument. In the heat of the moment, Coulson's wife decided to take their 2 children and leave her husband behind, not uttering a single word to him. Coulson was only aware of this when he woke up the next day, alone in their bed. Coulson is currently facing an arduous task of finding a job to sustain his livelihood. His lack of skills and work experience makes it even more challenging for him to secure a position. He is also burdened by the fact that he has to support himself financially, as his wife and children have left him. My husband and I are currently relishing the most fulfilling phase of our lives. We are able to engage in all sorts of activities together as a married couple, embarking on thrilling adventures together. We are aware that only by treasuring and embracing the significance of family will we be able to achieve great things in life.